right, welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob. Finally back on a semi-normal schedule, I think. I don't know the last time we recorded, actually. I have no idea. Was it last Sunday? Last Saturday?
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, we had to get ahead. Everyone knows by now, but we're all caught up because this is a Sunday night coming out on Monday morning. So we're up to date. We're back at you. With that being said, though, that also opens us up for the Open Championship.
Yep.
Which is this week at St. Andrews, the 150th Open Championship, occasionally referred to as the British Open. And St. Andrews is like the course, right? It's like the first fucking golf course ever, kind of. It's the first 18-hole golf course ever. It's like Mecca, right? For like hardcore golfers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just easiest to go the home of golf.
Yeah.
Effectively where it started. It's the oldest course in the world.
Yeah. So I vaguely remember from when I taught golf for a semester at Bridgewater. I had like a classroom component. So I do remember there were a couple courses that existed before it, but one of them was like 7 holes. Another one was 12 holes. And then St. Andrews was the very first 18-hole course. And the whole reason why golf courses are 18 holes standard across the board, or 9, if you just have a 9-hole course. But the whole reason they're either 9 or 18 is because of St. Andrews. So essentially every course that came after St. Andrews was like, oh shit, we got to have 18 holes. So there you have it. It's the birthplace of modern day golf.
Yeah, I think the first Open Championship was a 12-hole tournament, or it was 12-hole rounds.
Yeah, I think that sounds right by the RNA.
Yeah, I can't remember. Not Presswick. Or maybe it was Presswick. Could have been Presswick.
Yeah, 12-hole rounds and like 16 guys in the field.
Oh, yeah, it was like 8 dudes.
Yeah.
People talk about tradition, and it's like it was like 8 guys that shot 1 million.
Yeah.
Sick.
Well, isn't that the deal with like Tom Morris? Is because everyone's like, oh, Tom Morris, he's like the guy. And it's like, yeah, but he had a fuck ton of wins because he was only playing against 9 other guys.
Yeah, there's a few of that. It's US Open too.
Yeah.
Like way back in the day. Someone was actually saying that nothing should count before World War I or World War II. I forget.
I mean, we do that with baseball, right? Like we say the modern day baseball versus like old timey baseball. I think modern day baseball starts in the 60s.
Yeah, but all those teams that won before then, that still counts.
Yeah, it does.
And I would say I think modern's probably post World War II.
Yeah,
because like the 50s seemed moderately normal.
Yeah. Because people also do that with basketball. Like when Bill Russell with his 11 championships, they're like, yeah, but he won like 4 of them when there was like 6 teams in the league.
Yeah, but that's all hockey was at one point too.
Yeah,
like I mean, this is the thing is like when you have history, it's great that it like moved on, whatever. As long like if the game was still being played the same, that's the difference between saying like, oh, original 6 championships don't count because they only had to play 6 teams. It's like, well, dude, that's all the league was.
Yeah, that's all they had.
But like way back in the Open Championship when it was like not 4 rounds of 18 holes.
Right.
It's like we're really comparing that to this.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know when that changed. And then it's like I don't want the PGA to get confused. Like the PGA used to be a match play championship. So it's like I'm not talking about that. Like that's fine. The format changed. But I'm talking about when it was like 8 guys.
Yeah.
Again, 8 guys shooting 300 over 4 days. Like, fuck is that?
On 12 holes.
Yeah, fucking crazy ass shit. It's like when we play at Myopia, they give you this rant about we held 4 of the first US Opens and we have the highest score to par. I'm like, yeah, but like no one shoots in the 300s anymore.
Yeah.
300s is 20 over par.
That's
In a number in the 300s, I think one.
That's fucking nuts. Dude.
But they also used to do crazy shit like 18 holes Thursday, 18 holes Friday, 36 Saturday for the US Open.
Oh shit.
So
yeah, that's weird.
And then like the playoff used to be 36. Then it was 18.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the fuck are you guys playing so much?
Yeah, golf's done a lot of weird shit.
But again, it evolves over the years. But either way, it's like, so hockey and basketball, they were the same game, but some people at least like, they're like, oh, there's only 6 NHL teams. And it's like, all right. And it's like NBA. It's like, oh, well, that was before the merger. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
The only one that's really like modernized their championships is really the NFL, because the first Super Bowl was 62, maybe. I don't know. Yep. And any championship before that, they've disregarded. It effectively doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're like, oh, cool.
It's only Super Bowls.
You won the AFL championship in like 1947. We don't get
or whatever it was. It may have been an NFL championship, but it's not a Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is interesting how they did that. But
I don't know, dude. And it's like one of those things where people always criticize the Lakers, where, you know,
that one's 80s, funny because
in the 80s they only claimed like 4 titles or something.
Well, like,
and then all of a sudden in the mid 90s they just absorbed the Minneapolis Lakers.
I was gonna say like 4 or 5 of their titles came when they were in Minnesota,
which is okay. I'm fine with that. It's still the same team. The team moved, but they themselves weren't recognizing them.
Yeah.
Until like the NBA all of a sudden was just like, hey, you're going to recognize these now, because now it's like you and the Celtics have a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is goofy.
That would be like if we started claiming like
I know what you're going to say. Like it's a little different. It's a little different because let's say tomorrow the New England Patriots move to Hartford and they become the Hartford Patriots.
Yeah.
And the Hartford Patriots don't say anything about any Super Bowl titles. And then fast forward like 25 years, like maybe they've won like 3 of their own. And then one day they just be like the 9-time champions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's sort of what happened with the Lakers. They were only like 4-time champions or 6, or maybe it was like 6, 8, something like that. And then all of a sudden they added 5 to get to 13. And then they won the 3. Was it the 3? Oh, whatever. It's like, I don't know. My math is off a little bit, but it was like right before they had their 3-peat, or right around the time of the 3-peat, they just added the Minneapolis ones back in.
Yeah.
So like there were programs in the 80s where it was like the 4-time champs, the 6-time champs. And then by like the 2000s, it was the 13-time champs. So that was a little weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is what it is. So the Red Sox were originally the Braves. So I know the Boston Braves existed and then there was some other shit, but so I'm reading this.
I don't think the Red Sox were the Braves though. I thought they were 2 different teams.
I think what happened, let me try and read a little bit quicker through this. Because what this article made it seem was it went from the Boston Braves to the Boston Red Sox, and then the Boston Braves came back as a National League team, and then they moved to Milwaukee.
And then Atlanta.
Yeah, and then Atlanta. So it was like, it's almost like yeah, that's weird. That's weird. So they went from the Braves to the Red Sox, and then they just recreated the Braves, kind of like the Colts, right? Like they just like recreated the team.
I don't know if so. Wikipedia only has,
I guess, the rate.
So from 1901 to 1907, they were the Boston Americans. Then they were the Boston Red Sox from 1908 on. But weren't they the Red Stockings at some point?
Yeah. They were also the Boston Nationals, the Boston Americans.
No, the Boston Americans.
So maybe the Braves were the
It was a separate, it was a different, I think the Boston Braves were a different franchise.
So it says right here in 1907, the Boston Nationals abandoned their traditional red stockings in favor of blue. In 1907, the Boston Americans owner, John Taylor, met with the sporting goods supplier for the upcoming season. So it sounds like there's been two teams. They were the Boston Americans and the Boston Nationals. That's a stupid fucking team. That's like the two dumbest names to be in the same town.
So according to Wikipedia, the Boston Americans were 1901 and 1907. The Red Sox became 1901 and on. That's the franchise. The Atlanta Braves, current, they started as the Boston Red Stockings. Then they became the Boston Red Caps. Then the Boston Bean Eaters. Then the Boston Doves. Then the Boston Rustlers. And in 1912, they became the Boston Braves.
Yes.
Then for 4 years, they were the Boston Bees. Then they were the Boston Braves again.
Yeah. See, so I knew the one of the teams had a fucked up history where like they just did stupid shit like that, where they like changed the name and then changed it back. I just wasn't sure exactly which one. So that article I was reading was I think from Nick Cafardo or something, but
yeah. So
RIP,
assuming Wikipedia is correct, that's the
order of operations.
That's the divide.
Yeah.
So let's pretend that the Boston Americans won like 2 World Series. And then, the Red Sox for fucking 50 years claimed just their 5 or 6, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're just like the 8-time champions. Like that's what the Lakers effectively did.
Yeah.
And basically, a lot of people think it was Stern because David Stern wanted them to start claiming them all. Because then you could have like Celtics, Lakers, like, 16 championships to 13 championships. And they won their 5 in the 2000s and 2010s.
Yeah.
Which got them to whatever, fucking 17.
17, yeah. I think they're both at 17. No, the Lakers are 18 now.
With the bubble one?
Yeah, with the bubble.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Yeah. But that was a large digression. It's Open Championship week. So who do you got? Lay it on me.
So my bets I have placed were Max Homa 200-1 way back. He's like 54-1 now.
Yep.
Beat the number. Beat the market.
Yeah. Oh, great number. Great number.
As we did on the show, or maybe right after the show, took Zalatoris when he lost the US Open 2025. I think he's still around that.
I got him at 28.
All right, maybe I have 28. I don't know.
You might have got him at 31. I think you fired him off a little bit before me, maybe.
I don't know. Because I also did the same thing in the PGA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might be getting them mixed up then.
And then today I fired Tommy Fleetwood 32-1. So from a gambling perspective, that's what I'm looking at. From a who's actually going to win the event perspective, because gambling odds are like one thing. I mean, Schauffele's on a heater. I don't trust him to win.
Yeah, it's also hard to win in back-to-back weeks.
He just did. So he would have to win 3 in a row.
Yeah. Wait,
he didn't play. He didn't play 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, because I was going to say Travelers was 2 weeks ago.
He won back-to-back starts.
Yes. Yeah.
He also won the Pro-Am in Ireland, if we're counting that. So couple people that I do like are at St. Andrews. I do like Roars, even though he is the betting favorite. I don't think he's going to win, but I like him. He's played well there. He's played well this year. And he's also played well in the Dunhill. Fitzpatrick, Thomas. People like Spieth. He played well there in 15, but he played well everywhere in 15.
Yeah, I mean, that was when he was on a heater.
Yeah, I mean, I expect Schauffele to still play well. I just don't expect him to win. I don't like him to win, but I like Hatton to finish well. And then after that, man, I don't like anyone outside of like the top guys. So if the top, 12? Roars, Rahm, Schauffele, Scheffler, Spieth, Fitzpatrick, Thomas, Lowry, Smith, Morikawa, Zalatoris, Cantlay. I mean, it doesn't make for good analysis, but I think it's gonna be one of those 12. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I don't like the shape that Koepka's in. I don't know about Victor Hovland just in general. Burns.
Yeah, he's Victor Hovland is not playing well right now. I watched him, I think it was the Scottish Open on either Thursday or Friday, and he made an absolute fucking mess out of one of the holes. He hit it, I forget, it doesn't matter, left or right. He missed the green bad, went into the fescue, and then he hit the shot from the fescue and the ball went about 6 inches. And then he hit it again and it went almost over the green. So he doesn't have it right now. Which speaking of, while we're here, you can get all these odds that we're telling you at mybookie.com. Make sure you go to mybookie.com and use the promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000 over there. So again, SarcasmPod at mybookie.com. Because I am looking and I don't even see Hovland.
He's 34
on here. 34.
34.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yep. 34-1.
Which I think is too high for him. Yeah, then it's like I normally I would like Sam Burns, but I do think St. Andrews requires you to play a certain way, and I just don't think Sam Burns is going to do that. I think he's going to play the way that he wants to and how he knows.
Yeah.
And I just simply don't think that works there.
So I am, so in the interest of full disclosure, right? I only have 2 live bets right now as it stands. I also have Max Homa at 100-1. I think you got him at 200-1. And then I also have Zalatoris at 28-1. I don't hate the idea of Fleetwood. I'll probably fire that off, but I am currently looking at datagolf.com. Shout out to Data Golf. They're not a sponsor of the show, but hey, fuck, they could be if they wanted to be. They don't do sponsorships. It's just a fucking website. But either way, I think a sneaky play is Louis Oosthuizen. So looking at the course history at St. Andrews, since 2005, they've been there 3 times, 2005, 2010, 2015. And when I sort by true strokes gained, of everyone that's played there since 2005, again, just the 3 rounds that have been played there, Louis Oosthuizen has played 8 rounds. So he was there in 2010 and 2015. Yeah, he did not play in 05.
He kicked the shit out of everybody in 2010.
Yes, he won in 2010 and he finished
by a lot.
T2 in 2015. So his true strokes gained stat is plus 4.31 at the St. Andrews, the old course. The person in second place is Rory McIlroy at plus 3.26. So Louis Oosthuizen is gaining more than one stroke over Rory McIlroy, who is in second place. And then the third place guy. So let me just explain how kind of ridiculous this strokes gained stat is for Louis. So again, Louis played in 10 and 15 plus 4.31 strokes. Rory only played here in 2010, finished T3 plus 326. The next
play
person
in 2015.
No, I don't know why.
Didn't he play?
But it says did not participate.
Did he hurt himself?
He was a DNP. So then in third place you have Jordan Spieth, who was in 2015.
Only in 15.
Only played in 15, finished T4 plus 3.12 strokes.
Oh yeah, Roars didn't play because he hurt his ankle playing soccer.
Yeah. So then let's move to fourth place. Fred Couples, who last played this course in 2005, plus 2.77 strokes gained. After Fred Couples, you ask? Jose Maria Olazabal, who last played here in 2005, plus 2.77 strokes. After that, Nick Watney, who last played here in 2010, plus 2.76 strokes. And then I'll just go down. I'm not going to read the strokes gained, but Michael Campbell only played in 2005. Alvaro Quiros only played in 2010. Sean O'Hare played in 05 and 10. Then down here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in 10th place at true strokes gained, you have Sergio Garcia, who finished T5 in 05, T14 in 10, and T6 in 2015 at plus 2.38 strokes. So again, Louis Oosthuizen plus 4.31 strokes. The next person that's worth a damn that's played here more than once in the last 15 years has gained 2 strokes fewer than Louis Oosthuizen at St. Andrews. And looking at mybookie.com, shout out to MyBookie. What are Louis Oosthuizen's odds? Do you happen to know?
35.
35 to 1. So as we speak, I will be firing off a Louis Oosthuizen bet to win 35 to 1. Now, will he win? Probably not. Because he doesn't give a fuck about golf at this point in his career. He basically has said he just wants to live on his farm in South Africa, and he took the bag with the LIV Tour. So it's still worth $5, right? That's what, 5 to win 175?
Something like that.
Something like that. Like, yeah, I'll throw $5 on Louis Oosthuizen, who statistically is the best golfer by 2 strokes off of anyone that matters over the last 15 years at this course. And just for shits and giggles, I'm just going to read you the names after Sergio, who is 10th. Danny Willett, Jordan Nibruge, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Martin Keimer, Retief Goosen, Robert Carlson, Jin Jung, and then finally we have Brooks Koepka, who gained 2.1 strokes in 2015, only played here once. Like, the amount of people that, like, you would think, right? So like Tiger Woods has played here all 3. He won in 05.
He didn't play in 15.
Yeah, he missed the cut. And
he played?
Yeah, he
couldn't even chip that year.
Yeah. So he has gained plus 1.85 strokes at this course in 10 rounds over the last 15 years.
That's pretty good with a miscut.
Yeah. And Louis Oosthuizen has played 8 rounds.
Yeah. So, I mean, what makes the Open Championship so difficult is they do, obviously, anytime you rotate the courses, it gets hard because each course kind of has its own unique thing, and they play at each one so infrequently, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like a US Open where, it's like, all right, well, dudes need to be far, they need to be good with it, like, whatever. It's like, there's not a lot here. The only issue with strokes gained is the DP World Tour doesn't do strokes gained, and they have an event at St. Andrews every year. So a lot of these Euro fucking bums, they actually play there. They actually do know the course. So that's like why I like Fleetwood, is partially because of his performance in the Dunhill. Roars has been good in the Dunhill. Hatton, same thing.
Yeah.
So like those guys have at least seen the course more than everybody. And in the Dunhill's like a PGA, I'm sorry, like a Pebble Beach setup. You get 2 rounds at the old course and it's a pro-am.
Okay.
But either way, most of those guys have been playing the Dunhill since probably at least 2015. So they've got 14 more rounds than most of the Americans. And like I know Koepka's gone over there a few times, plus Koepka played in Europe before he got onto the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So there's a little more familiarity than you think. But the other problem with breaking this one down specifically is they haven't been there since 2015. And none of the following people were winning events on the PGA Tour in 2015.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Rahm, Schauffele, Scheffler. Spieth was winning. He actually was close. I think he had like a T4 in 2015. Fitzpatrick, Thomas, Lowry, Smith, Morikawa, Zalatoris, Cantlay, and until you get to DJ, who was my 13th guy. But even then, you have Burns, Koepka, Hovland, Matsuyama. Like those guys were not winning in 2015.
Right.
So it's a hard one to break down. So when it does come to major championships, though, like dudes who score well, I like you favor them. Right. Guys who hit their irons well, lean towards that. It's more like a tee to green kind of situation, especially over there with putting, because the greens are usually slower. They're a little bit hairier. There's a lot more going on, so putting's a little more up to luck and just like not fucking it up. And then you never know too with the weather. Like I think the weather looks okay right now, but
a little bit of wind, but everything looks, I think, 70s and sun.
Yeah, so I mean that's gonna be completely different than 2015. 2015 was disgusting. Over there.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Someone that's good tee to green and the putting that's kind of shitty and up to luck, that theoretically should play into the hands of none other than Will Zalatoris, the heartbreak kid. This kid, he's ranked. What is he? Is he top 5 in the world golf ranking? Oh, no. I'm sorry. Top 5 in the FedEx. No, not world. I was the wrong one. FedEx.
He's probably he's probably 10th in the FedEx. I think I saw that today. World ranking, because he's never won yet. So he's probably like,
so I don't give a shit about his world golf ranking. I just misspoke there. But I heard the stat. I think it was maybe last week, or maybe this could have been during the Travelers, actually, because I didn't really pay attention to the John Deere. So he might have been a little bit higher in the FedEx. He might have been like 8th at that point, 7th or 8th or whatever. And they said Will Zalatoris is the only person in the top 10 in the FedEx Cup standings at that point that didn't have a win.
He doesn't have a win in his career.
Yeah. But it's because he's finished second like 3 fucking times
in the majors.
Yeah.
Because that's where he makes it. That's where he does it.
Yeah.
It's all in the majors.
So I don't know. Do you think he like, truthfully, I know we both have money riding on him, which means he probably won't win because we cursed him.
Yes.
But outside of that, like, this has to be the course, right, where it's set up for him to not blow it, right? Because the US Open, really fucking tough course, right? And he played really well, and everyone knows he's not the best putter. And we were there. Those greens were fucking nuts. So it ultimately kind of did him in. Everyone obviously knows about Augusta. Like it's like fucking ridiculous. So, you say all the time the story of Tiger putting on a fucking basketball court, like to prep for Augusta. So there you have it there. The PGA, where was
Southern Hills.
Southern Hills. I don't really remember too much about that one, but it's like if he plays the same way that he did at the previous majors, you would think that like this is the one course where he shouldn't blow it with the putter, right? He shouldn't blow it.
So this is the thing with him is if you watch video of him putting, it's awful. It's really, really terrible.
That's terrible.
He gains strokes on the field putting in all of the majors. So he is better than the average PGA Tour player when putting it during the majors. So he actually putted pretty well at the Open, at the US Open, putted pretty well at Southern Hills. Probably just putted mediocre at the Masters, but everyone sees the highlight of him missing the short ones.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So, but it's like from distance, his putter doesn't look that gross. And that's the big thing is like, it just looks awful because it's like yippy and hitchy and figure eighting and signing his name in the back. I don't know. It's fucking weird. So I also took him because he has a reputation as a gamer in these majors. I actually think this is the one that benefits him the least, because he is really fucking good tee to green. He's especially good with his approach play.
Mm-hmm.
With St. Andrews and really any of those links courses in Europe, you know, there's random humps in the ground. Like balls bounce a certain way. You don't expect them to. It's like
there's a pot bunker in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, good shots sometimes get punished and bad shots sometimes get rewarded. And I don't think you necessarily can just like ball strike your way around, like just because you're not just going to sit there and hit it tight.
Right.
Like you got to kind of know a little bit what to do sometimes. Cause like certain pin locations, like you got to land it 20 yards short and let it run up because it's going to. And it's like, you know, if these guys normally carry their 7-iron 180, well, they got to figure out how to hit it 160, which they all can do. Like, please do not get me wrong on that. But it's like playing a couple shots like that. It's not a lot.
Yeah. Which just as a quick tangent, I finished Phil's book last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. And fucking nuts. But what stands out to me is what you had just said. You know, if they hit their 7-iron 180, they can hit it 160, because there was a spot in Phil's book where I forget what club it was, but he was like, you know, it's normally like a 167 club or whatever. And he goes, oh, I'll just hit it 164.
Yeah.
And then he did, and like put it 164 like tight. And it was like, oh, okay. That's cool. You can like shave 3 yards off your fucking club. Must be nice.
So why I ultimately took Zalatoris. So what I'm about to say is going to actually contradict itself, because with Will Zalatoris, I do think that the field is more likely to come to him in an Open Championship, where being that much better tee to green changes a couple things, because it's like, you know, you can run a 2-iron up there, whereas opposed to normally like at a Southern Hills, like you can't just run 2-iron, like you got to hit driver. Like, so you get options, and that's what brings some goofy people into this.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back from 2013 to 2021 with anybody that had strokes gain data. So what I mean by that is like Shane Lowry was not on the PGA Tour in 2019 when he won. So he doesn't have strokes gain data from 2019. Okay. The same goes for Stenson in 16. And I stopped at 13 because then it got goofy for 2 years. So the ranking of the winners in strokes gained approach went 1, 10, 2, 12, 12, 23. That averages out to 10. So out of those 6 winners, their ranking for the year was 10 on strokes gained approach. Strokes gained tee to green, 2, 2, 2, 13, 1, 22. That averages out to 7. Strokes gained total, 25, 16, 2, 12, 1, 7. That averages out to 11. So we got an average ranking of 10, 7, 11. And Phil kind of fucked some of those numbers up because he had a 23 and a 22, or otherwise those numbers would have been very, very low, especially strokes gained approach, strokes gained tee to green. Right. And last year's winner, strokes gained approach, strokes gained tee to green, Colin Morikawa, was 1, 2. Those were his rankings. And in 2022, whatever day I did this, strokes gained approach, there's another guy who's strokes gained approach 1 and tee to green 2, and it's Will Zalatoris. So, some other guys amongst those 2 categories that are like low single digits, like top 10, Thomas, Schauffele, Zalatoris, and that's it. Like they're top 10 in all 3 categories. You have some other guys that are low randomly, like Cam Smith is 3rd in approach and 5th in total, but 21st tee to green. So whatever, you figure that out. Yeah. So even though I said, this is probably one where people can kind of catch them, or like it brings more people into the field, I mean, those numbers are pretty fucking good. In exactly last year's, that's what you saw.
Yeah.
Like, especially that tee to green number, it was 2, 2, 2, 13, 1, and then Phil's fucking 22nd.
Yeah. So Phil fucked those numbers up a little bit.
But the reason I kept him in there is because he was also that year, he was 1st in birdies, 12th in scoring average, 7th in strokes gained total. So that's why I kept him.
Yeah. Ooh, you know who's top 10 in all 3 of those? Shane Lowry. He's 8th in strokes gained approach, 10th in tee to green, and 10th total.
Okay, so he's moved since I did this because he was 16th in one of them, tee to green. So the other thing too that I was looking up, so birdie average. Now this number jumps a little bit because one of these guys was Molinari. 16, 58, 1, 22, 1, 1. So I used that and I was looking at it. That one's like I didn't rule anybody out because of their birdie average.
Right.
But I still like that, Zalatoris is top 20. I mean, all these guys are like top 20. Like they're all just good. Yeah. But then like Lowry, Pereira, and Berger, they're all high. It's like 87, 84, 78. So take what you will from that.
Yeah, I mean, let me look at where is Lowry on this list?
For odds?
Yeah.
He's like 20. That's way too fucking low.
Yeah, my bookie has him at 1975.
Yeah, that's way too low.
I got him on my other book though at 22.
Yeah. I don't think he's a 20-1 type of player. Like the other thing too is it's like, so this is coming out tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So if you want some of these guys, you gotta wait. Like the low guys, you gotta wait because they ain't moving any further down. Like Roars is not going from 850 to 7-1. Yeah. If anything, he's coming back.
Right.
So I would not rush to take any of the top guys.
Yeah.
Like if you want Ustays, like you got to take them because everyone's going to be thinking the same way you are. Like I would not be surprised to see him get down to like 33.
Yeah, I actually just got him at 40-1 on my other book that shall go unnamed. But My bookie, step up your fucking game, bro. So let's do the obligatory because he's back. How does Tiger do?
Makes the cut, finishes outside. He finishes 36th or worse.
I like that prediction. I was gonna say that he finishes top 20. And one of the days on the weekend makes people feel like he's going to do something. So this is how I think it's going to play out, right? Obviously he makes the cut, right? He gets through Thursday, Friday, makes the cut wherever he is. And then say Saturday, he goes out and like shoots a 75. But then Sunday he comes out and shoots like a 67. So like
too little, too late type of thing.
Yeah, like one of those things. Or the reverse, right? Or he comes out on Saturday and shoots and goes low and then just fades on Sunday. Like I think the 2 days on the weekend are going to be pretty much polar opposite. I think he's going to have some magic on one of the days, and then the other day is just not going to be there. Like I said, I don't know which order it's going to be in. Obviously for the storyline, it would be better, right, if he went low on Saturday, because then it would carry him into Sunday, and then throughout the day people would kind of lose interest. Not that anyone would actually lose interest in Tiger, but it would become less interesting as he stumbles his way to a 75 on Sunday. But if he puts up that 75 on Saturday, then people are like, okay, he's out of it. And then even if he did shoot a 67 on Sunday, it's like, all right, yeah, that was cool, but like you finished fucking T17.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets a decent draw and doesn't have to deal with the wind, doesn't get fucked. I mean, I just don't see him doing enough to win.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the cut line will be. Even, maybe. So it's like I could see him being even, making it on the number, and then shooting like 72-70 on the weekend. And it's just like, okay, that was exceedingly mediocre.
Yeah.
But no, I just don't think he's ready to go. I don't think he'll do enough to really fuck it all up.
Imagine he comes out on Thursday and shoots a 68.
That would be cool.
And just says, hold my dick.
I assume par there is what, 70? I assume it's a 70.
Is it a 70?
I assume, again, it's not over. I know it's not overly long there.
Yeah.
I don't know St. Andrews that well. Obviously, it's like I know 1-18-17. Dude, I like really don't know the courses there that well. It's hard to watch the Open Championship. It's usually just on so fucking early. And it's like I actually work early.
Yeah.
Like when I can usually fuck off midday and watch, I can't.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Right. Is that it's on fucking it's on at like 1 a.m. I think coverage starts.
Yeah.
Because they're 5 hours ahead. So
yeah, it's usually like 1 or 2. And then like I usually don't finish my first client until 7:30. I've already missed 6.5 hours of coverage. And it's like in the summer, it's like I have group starting at 7:30. So
yeah.
I won't be watching shit. And it's like I work late enough where I'm not going to wake up at 2 to watch.
Yeah.
So
it is a 72.
Are they going to play it as a 72?
I don't know. The scorecard is a 72.
Yeah, that's what I just don't know.
But it might be. How would I find that with the PGA scorecard?
I'm on it.
Oh, okay. Because like if you played there, the one you get in the clubhouse says it's a par 72.
Yeah, they play it as a 72.
Okay. Yeah, so that's right. Like, imagine he comes out and shoots a 68 on Thursday. Fucking dickhead.
So I'm
So the
looking
winner's
back.
probably going to be, I mean, depending on
20,
wins,
20,
somewhere.
2015 was 15 under.
I was going to say somewhere between 12 and 15.
Yeah, I mean, like the simple math is if you birdie all the par fives, it's 16 under. Now you obviously don't birdie all the par fives, and you also mix in some birdies and bogey, whatever.
Yeah.
So DJ came in at 7 under in the first round, 2015. And he was 10 under through the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And eventually Zach Johnson won shooting. It went to a playoff. He shot 66, 71, 70, 66. So,
yeah.
What was the cut line?
Do they have that? Is that just Wikipedia?
Even par. Yeah. So, I mean, he's going to have to shoot even or better.
Yeah. Which I think he's capable of.
I think he will.
He did it at Augusta.
Well, he made the cut at Southern Hills, too.
Yeah.
And he was smart enough not to play the U.S. Open.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's some magic left in the tank. This is bullshit. Like, obviously Twitter is a fucking cesspool, but you hear all the people on Twitter being like, oh yeah, he's going to come out and then just retire after. And it's like,
no, see,
he's not going to fucking retire.
What he said was, he said this one last time. That's because he's talking about maybe not being able to play St. Andrews again.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if he's going to play St. Andrews again.
I don't even know. When's the next time it's scheduled to come back?
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
It used to be every 5 years and it got all fucked up because they were supposed to be there in 2020. That didn't happen. So then they kicked it out to this year because it's the 150th.
Right.
Which means originally it probably should have been 2025. But now are they going to wait till 2027 or is it going to be 2030? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
All right, so I get it right here. So next year is at Royal Liverpool, then it's Royal Troon, then it's Portrush, and then that's it. They only have it booked through 2025.
Yeah, that's probably because they're trying to figure out what to do with St. Andrews.
Yeah,
like, is it going to be every 5? Are they going to pick another milestone? Or are they going to get back to like the 10s and 5 years?
Yeah. Yeah, are they going to wait and not do it again until like 2030 so they can get it on the 10 and 5, like you said? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's a real thing, right? Like this, he might never play St. Andrews again. I mean, he's 46.
He's 46, and we know that at least for the next 3 years.
Yeah, it won't be here.
It won't be here. So he'll be 50.
That's 49. Yeah,
so
the next time it could potentially come
old
back, he would be 50
at the earliest.
Yeah.
And he doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to go out there and slap it around and fucking finish 5th from the bottom.
Yeah.
Fucking say, is Sandy Lyle playing this year? Or did they tell him like, hey man, don't come back?
Yeah, they gave him the Greg Norman. They were like, hey man, you're not invited. Well, that was it was 2015, right? They changed the rules for Tom Watson. They extended because they have like qualifying things, right? And it was like a winner back to like whatever year, like let's call it, say it was like a winner back to like 2006, right? And then like Tom Watson like didn't fit in that, so they were like, this year it's going to be a winner back to 2005. And like Tom Watson fit that, and they let him in. And then he almost he was in fucking contention. Like he played really well at what was he, 59?
I think it was 59 in 2009. Went to the playoff, I think.
Yeah,
he almost won that. Yeah, then he was getting exemptions for a while, and I think they age you out. I think it's like
it's on 60.
So you have to stop playing.
So that's the reason why.
Oh, but he
changed the qualification.
But he got an exemption though. So he was 59, which meant he should have probably played like 1 or 2 more. But he got a 5-year exemption for finishing 2nd.
Yeah, yeah.
So he probably played until 64.
Yeah, because they age you out at 60. It's like
or your abilities suck or something.
Yeah.
It's
Because
something
I
like
read
that.
it. I read it the other day. So yeah, this could be it. It could be the last time he goes there. So, and he's been open that it's his favorite course. So speaking of Greg Norman, we've got some more LIV news. So I have a question for you. It's kind of a long-winded one, so I'll get through it and then I'll just get your thoughts on it. So is the LIV Tour going to end up being legit? So there seems to be like new joiners basically every week, right? So there have been some, obviously Brooks Koepka joined in, I think after the Travelers or right after the US Open, whatever it was. Doesn't really matter. And then last week it was announced Paul Casey is going to join. Now I know Paul Casey's old now. He's like, I think he's in his 40s. He might be like 42. But he still hangs around sometimes, and he was a really good golfer. I think he had a couple wins on the tour. Now, there's rumors that Hideki Matsuyama is going to join the LIV Tour, and after that rumor, I've been seeing some other things on Twitter that there's allegedly, now again, these are Twitter rumors, that there is a small group of high-ranked golfers that is just waiting until after the Open to announce that they're going to move to the LIV Tour. Because so obviously the Open it's the last of the 4 majors this year. And they don't want to deal with all the bullshit of like, oh, LIV guys, are they invited? They're not invited. They don't want to deal with it. So they're sticking around. And then once we get finished with the Open at St. Andrews, they're going to announce that they're going to LIV too. So like I said, right. So the very first week, Henny Duplessis, right, is the winner. Now you have, it's the second.
Charles Schwartzel won.
Yeah, exactly. The even better. Charles Schwartzel wins and Henny Duplessis finishes second. Well, now you have Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka, Paul Casey, Tyrrell Hatton, right, is on there.
Hatton's not there yet.
Oh, yeah, but he's going, right? Is he? Oh, maybe that was one of the rumors that I saw. Whoops. Maybe spoiler alert. And then now Hideki Matsuyama is rumored. So if the rumors hold up and all of these people do go, is LIV actually going to turn into a tour, right? Like I said, like you went from Charles Schwartzel and Henny Duplessis to like now you actually have good golfers on the tour.
So a few things remain to be seen. One is, are they ever going to move to full field events? Now, whether they do 54 holes or 72 doesn't really matter. But when you only have 48 guys, 54 guys, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, 18 threesomes is 54 guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you only have 54 guys, where are the other guys coming from? Like, what happens if someone gets hurt? Like, who comes in? So you need, like, I wonder if you're going to go to full field events. You also need a feeder tour. So again, what happened when Lee Westwood becomes a corpse? Who takes his place? Where does that person come from? It might be the Asian tour. I don't know.
I think they have a deal with the Asian
which
tour.
I know that. So they do have a deal with the Asian tour. So the Asian tour could be the feeder tour, which answers my question. So it's just, that would just need to be like formalized, which a lot of those guys are Asian tour players. Like there's some dude from Zimbabwe, Scott Vincent, like he's an Asian tour player. And like the same thing with the Sunshine Tour. Like these guys don't give a fuck. Like you want to talk about human rights shit. Like a lot of these dudes grew up in South Africa. Like,
yeah,
not great.
Yeah.
So you need some formal feeder tour. You also need to figure out if you're going to have full field events or not, because you can't. So even if the World Golf Rankings wasn't run by the competition. So like you're gonna have a conflict of interest thing, and that's gonna be messy. With getting world golf ranking points. But either way, LIV doesn't meet the criteria of world golf ranking. So even if Monahan and the Pelly at DP World Tour and all the majors, even if they all said, hey, for some reason, we're going to let them in, they don't actually meet the criteria yet. Their fields aren't big enough. They don't have 18-hole events. They don't have a feeder tour. And there's a couple other things. There's like 7 things that they don't have. And I think they're working on it. But so they need, I think if this tour is going to be sustainable, they need a feeder, like a minor leagues or whatever, Asian tour, it doesn't matter. They need to get world golf ranking points. Now, I don't know if these dudes are just going to go play the Asian tour.
Yeah.
Because if you put all these guys in the Asian tour, then the world golf, they're going to get a lot more world ranking points.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how that works out logistically, but some of those guys have played some of those events before. Like Koepka's won one of them.
Oh, really?
Like it's like the Dunlop.
Is that the Rolex tour?
No, the Rolex series is just like a series of DP World Tour events that are just good.
Oh, okay.
No, like there's like an Asian tour and like a Japan golf tour or something.
Yeah.
And there's like some Dunlop Phoenix tournament or whatever, and Koepka's won it. Like this, but that was before, that was when Koepka was still playing in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's like some of these dudes have played in these tournaments before. So it's like, yeah, they're gonna have to go to Japan for like a month, but like if they want the world golf ranking points, then they gotta do these things.
Yeah.
And then if they continue to get players, certain things like eventually the money can't just come from the Saudi Arabian government. Like it has to be, if it's going to last, it has to be a tour that generates revenue.
Right.
Now, Saudi Arabia can continue to invest in it as part of whatever their Vision 2030, fucking whatever the fuck they're doing. But it does need to sort of like kind of run itself.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
Yep.
Because right now it's just a hobby. Like
with a huge purse.
Yeah, they're just dumping money into it. But like, what is the future of it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Is the goal to garner enough interest to then move to a full field, right? Like maybe they decided to do the 18 threesome shotgun start maybe for the first season because they weren't confident in how many guys they were going to get. But like maybe they get through the first season and they're like, dude, we can run like a full field event. Like we can have like 150, maybe not 150, but we can have like 110 guys, or like 90 guys. Like we can do that. Like maybe they're able to do that next year for the second season. And
if they hit an average of like 70 or 75, then that qualifies for world golf ranking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, out of their 7 shortfalls, they could knock out 2 pretty quick. They could just address a formal relationship with the Sunshine Tour and the Asian Tour, or in Japan, whatever, Korea, whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
And they could increase their field size, and then they're good. Shotgun starts will be gone, but whatever.
Yeah.
That'll probably actually just make more people happy. But yeah, I do have concerns like with the actual business. I just wonder what's the goal here?
Yeah.
Like, is it supposed to be self-sustaining, or is it supposed to just be like a money laundering thing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, unless they're just content with each year, we're gonna pump fucking $2 billion into this thing.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be our way to move $2 billion around. All right, I guess.
Yeah. Which is
I don't know, it's just strange. It's just like strange. It's a really, really, really strange type of thing. Because like we don't have that. We don't really have anything like that. Like the only thing the U.S. government owns is government agencies in government.
Yeah, it's
things.
Weird. Usually, right, when the government gets involved with sports too, like like the deflate gate thing, like went to fucking Congress or
Yeah,
something.
but that
Like,
was just a hearing. It's
yeah,
like, okay, so our government owns the military. Our
yeah,
government owns the treasury, but those are essential functions of the government. Like the United States government doesn't own the NFL.
correct.
So it's a weird arrangement because
Yeah,
on one end, people are like, huh, this will never work. They'll just pull the plug one day. And it's like, dude, our government wastes a lot of money on a lot of shit.
yeah, yeah, they do.
And we don't even have fucking oil money.
Yeah.
So
So let's just say, like, for shits and giggles, right? So let's say that Hideki Matsuyama actually does join the tour.
yeah.
And then now we're projecting it out for the last half of 2022. So throughout the last half of the year, over the course of the next 5 months, say you get Cam Smith, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of
Sam
some names
Burns.
here. Sam Burns, Corey Connors, and I don't know, maybe a couple other guys, right? Like a Gary Woodland
Or even Hovland.
and a Victor Hovland, right? Like, say those 5 guys or however many end up committing to the LIV Tour again over the course of the next 5 months. That's a lot more legit of a field than that first event was in London.
I think one of the more, and I feel this way. I don't know if I'm right. I think one of the more realistic end goals is somehow a partnership. I think the PGA Tour will have to give in if their guys continue to go.
Yeah.
And then,
well, that's the other half of it too, right? Like if you do lose like a Hovland, a Woodland, Cam Smith.
Yeah, then you're so.
I think Cam Smith is really not the best example because he doesn't really give a fuck about money. He's like he's the Australian Louis Oosthuizen.
Yeah, but that's fine. But he's a guy who could easily go.
Yeah.
Too, because he's Australian, he's not American. He doesn't have to deal with this.
Right. Yeah. So then, like, throw in a Sam, like particularly the young guys, right? Like if you lose Sam Burns, Victor Hovland, Cam Smith is younger. So maybe I don't really give too many shits about Gary Woodland, but say he still kicks around, right? Taylor Gooch is already over there, and then I don't know who's another like young guy that might fucking like a Cam Tringali or like a Cam Young. Like,
well, Cameron Young would be one because he's actually,
you know what I mean? Like, I think if you start to lose like some of the younger guys, I think the PGA is gonna fucking shit themselves. Like, I think they're gonna have like a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, no, I think what'll have to happen is there'll have to be some type of partnership or relationship where the guys are allowed to play both. I think that it's going to happen if guys continue to leave.
Yeah.
Because you can't just roll Roars, JT, Spieth, Morikawa, Schauffele, Scheffler, Rahm, Cantlay, and like some of the other Europeans. They don't play every week.
Right.
And if you
know what that turns into,
and then
like if you have those 8 guys that are just at the top every week, that's NASCAR.
Yeah, but they don't end up at the top. And that's the thing, though. They don't end up at the top every week. Like you only get that every so often. But it's like not only do they not play the same events, so now if you want them to play together, like if you want them to get out there together and like maybe duel it out, well, then you're going to have you're going to have more John Deeres.
Yeah.
And then if you fragment them, well, it's like, oh, who'd Scheffler beat? Oh, no one.
Right.
But I mean, the more people that leave, the more opportunity you have for guys to win. I don't know. So it's like you could get some replacement there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. I think the most likely situation is eventually I think we get to some type of partnership.
Yeah.
And it'll be much to the dismay of the PGA Tour. They will not like that. No, but like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
like if there's a rival league with better golfers or a better product, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Majors or not majors. And again, these guys can go play the Asian Tour, the Sunshine Tour, like, and if they collude together, where like if 8 of them decide to go, well, now you have a legitimate tournament.
Right.
Or like even God forbid, and I mean like the poor guys that are on that tour making like fucking 75 yen. If all 48 guys decide to go, or like they work it out that way somehow.
Yeah.
So now your live field is now buoyed by like another 100 guys. So you have a full field event. And then, but it's like it's got all of these players.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's gonna be stronger than a PGA Tour field.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Something to keep an eye on. So that's, like I said, that's why I brought it up. And I know there's like, so far there hasn't been any big young names, right, outside of Koepka and Taylor Gooch, right? Because like Dustin Johnson is what, 37,
something like that.
Paul Casey is like 42.
Bryson's the youngest, probably.
Bryson is one. I forgot he was there too. So you have Bryson, Gooch, and Koepka. They're all like right around 30 or younger, and they're all good. So, you know, like I said, like if it's just a bunch of like Paul Casey's and Gary Woodlands that end up leaving, PGA Tour probably is going to be like, fuck it, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if it, like I said, if it does end up being the, you know, the Victor Hovland, the Sam Burns, the Cam Young, then they're going to have some bigger problems. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll continue to see.
Yeah. Totally random. Do you have any interest in going to the Bolton event?
Very minimal.
Yeah.
Very minimal interest. So I've played out
Labor
there.
Day weekend.
I've played out there before. So I know the course has been renovated, whatever. So I played the International. I played both courses. I don't know what the situation's going to be. So first of all, it's in Bolton, right?
Yeah.
It's about an hour. So I got to drive an hour. All right, fine. Then I don't know what the parking situation is going to be because I assume it won't be on site. So where is it going to be? Because it's not like TPC Norton where you have Shantytown, but you also have like designated parking spots. Like, is it going to be shuttle here, shuttle there, like fucking park in Worcester, shuttle back to Bolton? Like, is it, I don't know what that logistics going to be.
There is plenty of space. It's similar to Norton where there's tons of fucking space out there where like they could just take like a field and like,
all right, fine.
Sell spots.
Now, I also know it's like there are hotels and shit on this, or there's a hotel and like a wedding venue. So maybe there is enough parking on site. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's really like the Bolton thing. I think that's the big one for me.
Just because it's in Bolton.
I don't want to go out to Bolton.
It's not that far.
I know, but
it's literally right up 495.
I know. Well, kind of.
For me.
Yeah. It's off the highway a little bit.
Let me see. The International Golf. It is 50 minutes from my house.
Yeah. I just don't know if I care.
Yeah.
Because remember this. What happened in terms of like spectating when we were at the US Open? What was the main impression? It was hard to spectate, right?
Well, yeah, because you can only see who's in front of you.
Well, no, it's not only that. It's like it was hard to get around the country club.
Right.
Now the International is a little bit newer, so it's probably a little bit easier to get around.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you right now, those holes are by themselves. So it's like, whereas at Norton, you know, if you could stand by 2 fairway, you could see 1 tee. You could go stand by 4 and see 5. Like they're kind of isolated.
Yeah.
and it's a massive property. So, I think the best way to watch golf is on TV.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
So if I care about the golf, because I don't care about the course.
Yeah.
So if I care about the golf, I'll just watch it at home.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, I think
because the other thing too is it's like, all right, so even if I meet you at your house, like what are we gonna do? Get fucked up and drive an hour back? Like,
yeah.
because that's like the other thing is like part of going to the tournament is you drink a bunch. So it's like, dude, like that ain't driving 12 minutes back to the house in Mansfield.
Yeah. I mean, I drove home from Jamaica Plain. I mean, I didn't drink that much, but it was an hour. Took us an hour to get from Boston to here.
Gross.
It's probably actually takes less time for me to get to Bolton than it does to get to Brookline. I'm dead serious. I'm gonna put that in my GPS now. Where's the country club? So the international was 50 minutes. The country club 46 minutes. Literally like the same amount
Bolton's
of time.
Just straight though.
Yeah.
I don't know. My interest level's low, minimal. I'd rather go play somewhere.
Well, the other downside to that, if you want to call it that, is it's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, so the Labor Day weekend aspect doesn't really bother me because I don't have plans. And
I can tell you for certain I will not have plans because that's 3 weeks before our wedding, and I'm going to be in full on like I'm not spending a fucking penny. Like I might eat ramen for the 3 weeks leading up to the fucking wedding.
Why, it'll be poor after the wedding too.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's like if I care about the golf, I'll just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about the course, the property, nothing.
Yeah.
But like US Open venues, I care about. Like I would consider going to Pinehurst in 2024 if I can get a round out there next year, because not only will it's a historical spot. Like that's the thing is there's no history of this shit. So it's like,
yeah.
But even Pumpkin Ridge, like Tiger Woods won a AM or a junior AM there. I forget which one. So it's like I would have watched that like in person if I could.
Yeah.
I have no use for the International, Trump Bedminster. I don't even know where else they're going. There's another Trumper out there. I don't care.
Yeah.
I could give a flying fuck less. And it's like, even like Norton was good. I get to see some pro golfers hit some balls. That's fine. But it was convenient.
Well, I was going to say the biggest part about Norton is that it was 15 minutes away.
Yeah. And it was 20 minutes from the gym, even when I didn't live in Mansfield. Like,
yeah,
everything about it was convenient.
Yeah.
And easy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you absolutely nailed it. Like the whole thing, like Norton, like it's not like there was history, right? Like they fucking canceled it. Like they didn't care.
They
that
cared
much
so
about
much
it,
that they're never coming back.
But it was 15 minutes away. So every time it was here, I was like, yeah, I'll fucking go watch it. Like I want to go there because it's quite literally down the street.
Yeah, like I kind of want to. There's an event at Marion outside.
Oh yeah,
Philly. It's in Pennsylvania. I forget where it is.
Yeah,
and it's like I kind of want to go. It's not even the U.S. Open because the U.S. Open doesn't come for 8 years. It might be U.S. Am. And it's like I kind of want to go because Marion's fucking sick.
Yeah,
but like
that was in Phil's book.
Oh, 2013 they played there. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the trash? That was the trash can year, right?
No, that was Wingfoot.
Oh,
in New York. No, Marion was the like 270-yard par 3 or whatever the fuck they had. I don't know, it was something crazy.
Yeah.
And he chipped in for eagle. I thought he was gonna win, and he just fucking didn't. No, but they go to. It's Pinehurst. It's another one
for the U.S. Open
that I would consider going to. But again, it's because they're probably going to Shinnecock at some point. I can't remember the other one now. I mean, they're going to Pebble, but I wouldn't attend Pebble. That's too far of a flight.
Yeah, that's to watch golf. That's
no, I'm not flying across the country to watch.
Like, I'm not going to fly 5 hours to watch golf.
No, I'd play, but
I would. Yeah, exactly. Like I would fly 5 hours to play.
Oakmont.
But I'm not going to go.
I think they're going back to Oakmont, and I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Oakmont is 2025.
Okay, so like I would go to those places.
Yeah,
but that's because there's been U.S. Opens there before. Nothing easy and nothing convenient about anything with those.
Yeah,
but yeah, the international just does nothing for me.
Oh yeah, they're at Marion in 2030.
I think there's a USAM coming though.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Well, you want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up. So I saw Thor this weekend.
Oh,
and
sweet.
It was opening weekend. So I won't go too much into it. I think it's worth seeing if you guys have the time, because if you liked Ragnarok or Thor's performance in Infinity War or Endgame, then I think you will like this movie because it mixes a good enough amount of humor and action that makes it very enjoyable. I also still wonder, one of my takes with Thor is, if he is that powerful, how do they ever lose? Like, how do the Avengers ever lose if Thor is as powerful as he is?
Yeah. If he is indeed a god.
Yep. Which they make that very clear in this one. Very god focused. So I know you haven't seen Thor. Have you seen borderline everything else?
Yes. The only thing I have not watched is Miss Marvel.
Me neither. I'm waiting for the 6th to come out.
So Amy and I watched the first episode and we were like, this is fucking terrible. I'm not watching this.
Ooh, that bad, huh?
It was it's a kids show.
Oh, is it?
It's basically like she's 16. Like everything that's in it is like she like sneaks out of the house to like go to a party. Like she's not an actual superhero. She gets a superhero from like fucking Goosebumps. Like she like puts on this fucking thing and becomes a superhero. You know what I mean? Like it's not
okay.
It's dumb.
Whatever. I was gonna wait for all 6 to come out anyway.
The first, and maybe it's a Marvel thing where like it gets better, but like I read a bunch of reviews and everyone trashed it, which was really funny because like the critics, right, are like, oh, it's incredible. This because she's Muslim. She's Pakistani.
The actor or the character?
Both.
Okay.
I think both, but at least the character. The family is Pakistani and she becomes superhero. So like that, like
supposed to be the first Muslim superhero, right?
Yeah. So like the professional movie critics are like, this is phenomenal. It's great. They gave it like fucking 5 stars across the board. But then you go to like the regular people reviews and it's like, this fucking sucks. Like this isn't good. Like this is not a good series.
Yeah. So I'll give it a shot when all 6 are out. The 6th one comes out Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
If it sucks, it just will stop or not pay attention to it, whatever. So outside of Miss Marvel and Thor,
but I've seen them all.
Where the fuck is this series going? Like, where the fuck is this phase going?
What are we leading towards? I thought it was leading towards the whole like celestial thing, right? Like, but that was like the whole part of the Eternals, like. Yeah, like the whole Eternals buildup was like, now we know we have these Celestials, and then also with What If, like I don't know if the Watcher is technically a Celestial, but you know that like there's these like greater than otherworldly creatures, right? Like you have the Watcher, you have the Celestials, you also have the dude at the end of Loki, who was like the time guy,
Kane the Conqueror,
right? So you have like all these people that are like, you know, the bigger than gods, right? Essentially, right? Like, I don't know, but I have no fucking clue where this phase is supposed to be going, because it seems to be all over the place.
Because I was gonna say, so again, without getting into Thor, obviously Thor is a god. And the gods are a major theme of that movie.
Yeah.
So you got gods again. So we have celestials, we have gods.
Yeah.
Well, we also have like the mystic art side. In the
Yeah.
mystic art, like, so we have Doctor Strange, we had Spider-Man,
Yep. Now we have the multiverse where
Loki.
I say all the time, it's my favorite thing is they've done an elaborate beer fest, right? They leave the door open to just bring back any character that's died.
See, I
Like
did see.
they did with Gamora,
Well, I
right?
was
They
gonna say, I
killed
did see
Gamora and then brought her back.
someone's review was like, one thing, it's like no one is ever dead anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so it's like, okay, so if you have like, so the god side of things, you have Eternals, Thor, and I think you could mix. No, sorry. So like those are like the two that are kind of like mixing in like the god stuff, right?
Yeah.
And maybe Moon Knight, because it's like you got the Egyptian thing.
Yeah, Moon Knight was a little bit, yeah, with the Egyptian gods.
Yeah, so you got something going on there.
That was sneaky good. Moon Knight was like sneaky really good.
So then you also have like the mystic arts and multiverse side. That's is Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Loki, Wanda. It's like, okay. And it's like those, so like you like the god and celestial thing going on, and you got like the multiverse thing going on, and I don't exactly see how you get from A to B unless it's like a Kane the Conqueror type thing, like links the two. I don't really know how that mixes. And it's like, okay, so if we don't know how those mix, then how the fuck does Hawkeye and Kate Bishop and
so that's what I was just about to say is Hawkeye has nothing to do with any of it. Like Kate Bishop is just kind of like there.
Yeah, and then it's like, but like Yelena is like with her.
Right.
And it's like, does that go to Falcon and the Winter Soldier at all? And then like, what about Elaine? Like her character? Like how does Elaine, like how does she fit in?
Purple haired Elaine.
Because she showed up. Elaine showed up
in Black Widow.
And Black Widow and at the end of Falcon and Winter
Soldier. I almost feel like they're kind of trying to do what Netflix did with the Defenders. Like they're taking like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Hawkeye and Yelena, and they're trying to build like a universe within a universe. So it's like, you know how Netflix had the Defenders series? Yeah, a teeny verse. Yes.
And that's just like slavery with more steps.
So they're trying to do like the teeny verse, right? And then I don't know, because it seems like there's zero tie, right? Like Amy and I actually said that like maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about it. And she actually is the one that brought it up. She was like, because we had just rewatched Spider-Man or Doctor Strange, one of them. We've watched both of them recently, but we just had rewatched one of them. And after we watched it, she turned to me and goes, you know what I was thinking is like Falcon and the Winter Soldier seems like such a waste of everyone's time because like it doesn't tie into anything. And it's like, no one talks about it. It's like,
and there's 2 years before we even get, because like the next Captain America movie with Sam is supposed to be 2023. So it's like, yeah, you did your series. And another thing, because I just like read the random shit online.
Yeah.
It's like, seems to be introducing a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Like John Walker got introduced. Okay, where are we at with him?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, we have a new Captain America. Okay, well, where are we at with him? Yeah. Yelena, like, what is actually her deal? Yeah. Kate Bishop, what's going on there?
The Black Knight.
Who's the Black Knight?
Kit Harington.
Oh yeah, where did he show up? Shang-Chi?
Eternals.
Oh, Eternals?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like all of the Eternals characters, and then it's like, okay, spoiler alert. If you don't want any spoilers, go away. And then it's like, well, the movie's been out. It's Doctor Strange. So it's like Reed Richards showed up.
Yeah.
There's a new Captain Marvel. It's Maria Rambeau.
Yes.
Well, we also got introduced to her daughter, Monica Rambeau, in WandaVision.
Yeah.
And then Charlize Theron. Yeah, Charlize Theron's character at the end of Doctor Strange. Like, where are all of these people gonna go?
Yeah. Wait, Charlize Theron was in Doctor Strange?
The post whatever credits.
What was she doing?
She shows up. So do you remember like how Doctor Strange grew the third eye or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. So then that was like the mid-credit scene. Then the post-credit scene was he doesn't have the third eye. Charlize Theron shows up, opens up some type of portal, and then his third eye shows up again. They jump through the portal.
Okay. Yeah. I do remember that now.
Yeah, she was like Clea or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so who the fuck is she? Never mind, like Shang-Chi was a standalone movie, so where the fuck are we going with him?
Yeah, Shang-Chi didn't have any tie. They didn't have any crossovers.
Wong was the only one.
Wong, yeah, that's right. It was just Wong.
And Abomination. Abomination was in it. Which that goes way back.
Yeah.
Never mind. We still have I think another Captain Marvel movie. And then there's also the Skrull invasion show.
Yeah.
So how the fuck are we going to go from new Captain America, Yelena and Kate Bishop, Celestials, the multiverse, Kane the Conqueror, gods? Like, how the fuck is all of this going to connect? And how the fuck am I supposed to keep track of it all?
Yeah, it does seem like it's gotten to be a bit overwhelming, right? Like there's a lot going on. I think part of that has to do with the TV shows, right? Because this is what phase 4. The first 3 phases didn't have the TV shows.
And what some dude was saying was phase
1 was kind of like by accident. Like phase 1 wasn't planned to be phase 1.
No, but phase 1 was very simple because it was like, hey, these are who these superheroes are. They're going to come together and culminate in Avengers 1.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, here are all these people that you've already met again. Here's another adventure they go on, and it's going to culminate with Avengers 2.
Yeah.
And then it's like, here's a couple more adventures. We'll introduce a couple people here and there because we still need a new Guardians movie. So I don't know how the fuck that fits any of this.
Yeah.
And a Black Panther movie. So then it's like, all right, here are a couple new people. Oh, and by the way, here's this one badass guy that's going to fuck everything up. So we're all going to work towards getting him out of here.
Yeah. And now we finally got him out of here. And now we're just going to go crazy. We're going to have 6 different plot lines going for phase 4 at once. And we're not really going to bother about tying them all together because we don't have to, because multiverse.
You're going to fucking watch anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wonder.
Yeah, it feels almost like the Spider-Man. Well, so I know Spider-Man it's weird because it's split between Sony and Marvel anyway, but it feels like they literally just did that movie for like nostalgia. It almost feels like Star Wars in a way when they came back for episode 9 and was like, hey, we realized that we fucked up on episode 8. So like, here's a bunch of nostalgia.
And it's like,
it's like, hey, we kind of realized that like all the shit we're doing doesn't really connect and make sense. So like, here's nostalgia.
No, you know what's going to fucking happen? Because the people behind Marvel aren't stupid. Like we're just sitting here being like, how's this all going to connect? Well, they already know how it's all going to connect.
Yeah.
We don't. They do.
Right.
And it's going to connect somehow. And the shit that happens in Spider-Man, even looking at it going like, oh, that was useless. Or like looking at Winter Soldier, like, oh, that was useless. It won't be useless. Just like the fucking second Thor wasn't useless. Now, do you need to see everything to get it? No, you don't. Because I still haven't seen the second Thor. I think I fell asleep during it. But like, I got no use. Like, I'm not watching the second Thor. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't need to know it because one of the Infinity Stones showed up. Don't know which one. Don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The
elves come out of Mordor and fuck shit up. It's basically all that happens.
Like what is that? Lord of the fucking Rings? Like,
yeah.
Is that the Hobbit? Like, you could have told me that was anything, and I would be like, I'm sure.
Yep.
Don't care.
Yep.
So like, it's all gonna like somehow work out, connect. I don't know how. Obviously I don't know how, but
yeah,
like we're gonna look back at that Spider-Man movie because as it stands right now, on July 10th. It seems like the Spider-Man movie, all it did was set up the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, you didn't need a movie to set up the Doctor Strange movie.
No, you didn't. And then, what was it? The Doctor Strange movie was more important to watch What If than anything else.
No, WandaVision.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, WandaVision obviously helps, but like outside of that, like it doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like you didn't have to watch anything else. Like you could have watched What If and WandaVision and like you're good.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it doesn't like it doesn't seem to lead into anything either outside of Charlize Theron and Doctor Strange with 3 eyes.
Yeah.
Cool. He's the 3-eyed raven now. Like, what the fuck?
Now I could well, see, this is the thing though. It's like I see like 3 different categories almost. Like you have play the hits, which is new Hawkeye, new Black Widow, new Captain America, and Bucky.
Yeah.
Like they are play the hits. They are like the Avengers. And then you have the whole Mystic Arts thing. I don't know how the fuck that's going to connect or work or whatever. And it's like that could connect to Loki, which then could connect to Thor. So it's like you could get like all of that, and Shang-Chi would fit that. And if Thor's involved, then you could theoretically say that like the Eternals could get involved too. Like that could be like a thing. Or if they all work towards or against like either Kane the Conqueror or the Celestials, whatever. Like you could do that.
Yeah.
But then they're gonna bring in Fantastic Four for that if they do the Celestial thing, which they've already alluded to. But it's like, do we really need more? Like now, do we need more?
Yeah.
Because like if you go through the roster of Endgame, it's a little overwhelming how many fucking superheroes there really were.
Oh yeah, yeah. Endgame was fucking nuts.
So
yeah,
I
don't know either.
But so I enjoyed Thor, but that's those are my impressions leaving.
Yeah, that's good. A lot.
Where
of
are we going here?
Yeah. All right. My final thought actually is going to be pretty quick. Unfortunately, I know he doesn't listen to the show, but I want to give a shout out to Iain MacMillan, friend of the show. Unfortunately, his dad passed away this week, I think. So he put it out on Twitter and had this whole post, and seems like a good guy, right? Like, obviously like Iain seems like a good guy. Haven't met him in person, but I've talked to him enough on the internet and on this show. But again, real quick final thought, just wanted to give a shout out to Iain. Hope everything's good. Like I said, I don't think he listens to the show, but it sucks, right? I've been there. So
I think he was back there too.
Yeah, he did. He went back to Canada. He was in Canada like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then he just went back there, last week or this week. So at least he got to be there. So again, friend of the show, sucks, but if you follow him on Twitter, send him your well wishes. So it's is it Iain MacBets on Twitter?
Yep.
So
spelt Lane with an I.
Yeah. IAIN. All right. So that's it. That's all we got. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, click the subscribe, thumbs up, like, rate, review, all that stuff. Tell everybody you know about the show. If you're an audio only, still, subscribe, pass on the word. Thank you to grillyourassoff.com. I smoked some ribs today. I used the Grill Your Ass Off pork seasoning, the Infidel pork rub, which is fucking delicious. It's one of my favorite ones that they make. You can get 10% off your order. I know inflation, times have changed. It's 10% off now across the board. It used to be 15. Hopefully you guys used the promo code before when it was 15 and you would have taken advantage of it, but now it's 10%. I just ordered some more stuff. I got 2 bottles of hot sauce and a bottle of Cajun rub seasoning that just came in like 3 days ago. And I used the promo code Sarcasm Pod and I got 10% off. You better believe I use my own promo code. Why wouldn't I? So again, grillyourassoff.com, promo code Sarcasm Pod gets you 10% off every single time you check out. You get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. The website Sarcasm Speaks. all that fun stuff. So until next time, good night.